Our story begins with a choice. Aqua, having just beaten a Xehanort-possessed Terra, dives into a pool of darkness, after Terra tries to eject the old man from his heart. Knowing both of them won't make it, Aqua makes a split-second decision to save Terra as best as she can, by sending him back up to the realm of light with her armor and keyblade. Aqua floats down into the darkness, apologizing to Ventus for not being able to return to him. Aqua then begins her trek through the realm of darkness, time seemingly losing all meaning, as she quickly loses track of how long she has been down there. She eventually makes her way to a clearing. Perhaps it is a spot where she can rest. Perhaps not. As she hears something nearby in the shadows, jumping about, circling her, then hiding once again, Aqua summoning the Master Defender Keyblade and losing track of where the beast is. Everything is quiet, like the calm before a lion pounces at its prey. Once Aqua unknowingly had her back turned to the beast, it flashes its red eyes, and quickly pounces at her. Aqua tries to block the attack but is knocked away and onto the ground. The beast charges again, Aqua getting up and launching a fireball at the creature, which the beast dodges by jumping, and soars over Aqua, who now knows that this creature is not an unversed, but instead a dweller of darkness. This is the Dark Hide, and it is very ferocious with its quick strikes. Large and menacing appearance, and the fact it has the home field advantage. The fight is long and strenuous, but ultimately, the Dark Hide is too much for Aqua, and she is knocked down again, losing her grip on the Keyblade, and trying to fight the urge to go unconscious. The beast approaches, pressing one of its paws on Aqua's chest, and putting its weight on her. Aqua screams in pain, but it overwhelms her, causing her to finally pass out. The Dark Hide stares at the unconscious prey it had just defeated, but then stares deep and into her heart, seeing her sadness, depression, and self-doubt. The beast opens its mouth and begins to breathe a dark breath that covers her, feeding these dark thoughts, making them more powerful, and taking over her heart. Once the beast has darkened her heart enough, it begins to meld with her, and Aqua herself begins to change. Her hair turns a dark purple with pink tips, the blue markings begin to etch themselves down her face in line with her eyes. Her clothes take on a darker appearance, the main torso part turns solid black, while the belts across her chest are a dark silver, and her pendant changes from Terra's mark to that of the Heartless emblem. Her hip drapes also change to the same tattered white fabric seen on Rika's dark mode bodysuit, his waist cape if it was not descriptive enough. Tying off the hip drapes is a chain with the hooks the Dark Hide had around its front paws. The beast finally disappears, now fully mixed with Aqua's amplified darkness. After a few minutes, Aqua opens her eyes, which are now a glowing yellow. Getting up off the ground, she looks around, before noticing her heart feels heavier. Looking down at her hands, she sees they have changed, and she begins to look at the rest of her clothes, everything having changed. But then a sudden feeling lingers, like the Dark Hide was still watching her from the shadows, but it's not there. She wonders what happened, before realizing that darkness is more potent in her heart, and even though she tried to push it down, it only seems to fight back and hurt. She begins to panic, the darkness slowly creeping even more within her, and upon realizing this, she calms herself down, the darkness seemingly stopping. She thought to herself,
"This place, it changes people. I thought I was strong enough to fight the darkness, but now it's crept deep in my heart and grew within it. Terra, Ven, please help me stay strong."
Submit to me.
She begins to move forward, and after a bit of traveling, she stumbles across a familiar sight, that of the Castle of Dreams. She is shocked to the castle down here in the realm of darkness, but before she can pursue the thought further, a few shadow Heartless spring up from the ground, Aqua summoning her Keyblade.
Lesser shadows yield to greater darkness.
Back off!
The shadows sink and slither away faster than they appeared, Aqua worried about the sudden fear or obedience the small creatures had just shown. Was this a side effect of her recent change? Best not to think about it right now. Aqua continues to move forward towards the castle, and eventually arrives in the ruins of the town that are before the castle. Looking around for any forms of non-realm of darkness life, her heart stirs with melancholy and somber, the darkness within, feeding off this. She sheds a tear, thinking about the life that once populated this very town, and the possible fates that could have happened. She buries her pain deep down and presses forward, reaching the castle gate. Upon reaching the gate, more shadows spring up and begin to form the demon tower, trying to show a form of strength against her.
Look at how they writhe, crawling for relevance. Let them put on their show of power. It ends the same.
You are no match for me.
Aqua engages the demon tower in a fierce battle. Her attacks begin to become more reckless as she swings her keyblade at the foe. The tower gets a hit in, sending Aqua back. For a moment, she lets her rage take over, a dark aura flowing around her. She charges at the tower with a powerful swing, the keyblade pulsing with darkness as she slashes through, the tower retreating by jumping into a massive pool of shadow in the ground. Aqua stands there, catching her breath, before looking down at her hand holding the keyblade. Seeing the dark aura, she throws her keyblade, scared of the darkness she had just used. But when the keyblade left her hand and hit the ground, the dark aura faded from the weapon, Aqua realizing that the keyblade was channeling the darkness she was creating through it. Staring at her hand again, seeing the darkness flow around her, she questions it.
Thought I was fighting it, but I used it. I let it in, and I didn't even notice.
Submit to me.
Maybe it isn't this place. Maybe it's me, what I really am, who I always was.
Aqua pulls out her wayfinder, and upon seeing it, the dark aura subsides, calming her down for the moment. She puts it away and moves towards the castle, and upon reaching the front steps, she looks up at the sky. Small crystals and fragments of worlds glisten like the night sky. She wishes that she could spend another night gazing at the stars with Terra and Ventus, before lowering her head and stating that at this point, her friends wouldn't even want someone who gave into the darkness.
Aqua!
Terra? Is it really you? What are you doing here? Did you not make it out? Could I have failed at saving you?
Aqua reaches for Terra's hand, but she just ends up grabbing air, as Terra is just an illusion created from her memories. Aqua falls to her knees, her hands over her heart, tears sliding down her face and onto the ground. She looks up at the illusion with tear-filled eyes, screaming at the illusion of Terra.
Are you just here to torture me?
Memories don't lie. They just remind us of the pain that never left. Why run from what shapes us? Embrace it.
She quickly summons her keyblade and slashes at the illusion, the keyblade just phasing through. Each swing brings more and more tears, as the pain becomes more unbearable. She slashes one more time, but the keyblade misses the illusion and just swings through the air. Aqua had broken down. The illusion just looks at her before vanishing. Aqua tries to watch, but her vision is blurry, and she can't stop sobbing. After a few minutes of trying to compose herself, she looks down at her keyblade, feeling guilt at the grief-stricken rage she had just succumbed to. She thinks to herself, she used to be stronger than this, but maybe the realm of darkness is really getting to her, or making her see and feel things she had been trying to keep pressed down for so long. She lifts her head up and keeps moving forward. Eventually she leaves the area where the Castle of Dreams is and walks into the dwarf woodlands. Her first sight is the dwarf's cottage. Her attention is soon drawn to a glass casket just outside the cottage. She walks up to it, noticing Ventus sleeping inside. She instinctively bangs on the glass, trying to wake him. But he is also just an illusion, and fades away, leaving the casket empty. She thinks to herself, why is she being tortured with these illusions of her friends? Were they there to make her fall to darkness come faster, or were they trying to tell her something? She talks to herself, saying how she needs to make it home to wake up Ventus. But soon doubts herself on if she is strong enough to do so. She is soon distracted by a reflection in the glass of the coffin. She turns to see a giant mirror floating behind her. Aqua gets up and approaches the mirror, questioning if this is another sick game the world is playing, telling her to look at what she has become. She puts her hand on the mirror, looking at her reflection, stating she barely recognizes herself, now that she has had a proper chance to see all the changes. The mirror glows, and the reflection of her hand emerges from the mirror, grabbing her wrist and pulling her in. When she lands on the floor, she looks around at her new surroundings, the room seemingly a weird multi-mirrored version of the Evil Queen's dungeon. Upon further inspection of the room, she notices the mirrors seemingly lead to different places. Aqua sighs at the thought of problem solving through a maze of mirrors, but tries to go through it. After some time, she manages to get through to a new area, or more of a familiar one, as it reminds her of the mirror dimension she was in when she faced the spirit of the magic mirror. She approaches the single mirror that floats in the center of the area, looking at her reflection, which reflects how she looked before her change.
Is this what it means to face your demons?
Only your heart is hollow enough to be a demon's.
That's not true. My heart is strong.
It can be even stronger. Let go. Submit to me and let me in.
Her reflection steps out from the mirror and summons a Keyblade, still looking like her original self, but with glowing blue eyes. This is the Phantom Aqua, and regular Aqua does not hesitate to go onto the offensive against it. A battle erupts between the two, but the Phantom seems to have a few tricks up its sleeve that put Aqua on edge, and eventually on the back foot. She is unbalanced, and this Phantom is taking advantage of it, showing how far her form has fallen since being in this place.
Submit to me.
Showing how strong she used to be.
Submit to me.
Who is talking?
Showing the truth.
Use the darkness or we both fall.
I can't.
The Phantom raises the Keyblade above her head, intending to finish this fight with a final downward slash while Aqua seems to be distracted, Aqua looking up at the blade that is ready to fall. Aqua freezes in fear before closing her eyes, ready to accept her fall. Before the Keyblade hits her, Aqua has a quick vision of Terra and Ventus, the memory of the two reigniting her will to live, even for a moment. Aqua lets herself tap into the darkness, her hand shooting up, summoning the chains that lay around her belt. The hooks and chains wrap around Phantom Aqua, completely immobilizing her. The Phantom is restrained, but looks at Aqua, saying that she just proved her heart was strong with the darkness. Aqua just snapping back at her, telling her to shut up. Aqua's hand begins to squeeze, the chains around Phantom Aqua getting tighter. Phantom Aqua struggles to get words out, but the Phantom tells Aqua that she will never be strong enough to save her friends, Aqua quickly closing her hand tight, the chains crushing the Phantom till she explodes in a puff of purple and white sparkles. Aqua looks at the mirror after the Phantom vanishes, seeing herself pulsing with dark energy. Calming down, she gets up and walks towards the mirror, questioning how long she must endure this nightmare. Passing through the mirror and back into the dungeon, Aqua turns back towards the mirror and looks at her reflection again.
That Phantom. She called me out for using the darkness. Was I really like that before? So blinded by the light, I didn't even give any room for fear or desperation? Now I know how Terra felt.
Aqua looks back into the dungeon, a mirror showing a different reflection than what she had been seeing before. A way out? Perhaps, but she had to take a risk to find out. Stepping through, she ends up in a forest area, though something was familiar about this place, she could not put her finger on it. Aqua travels ahead, and stops when she notices two figures ahead. It was Terra and Ventus. Aqua ran as quick as she could towards them, but when she was only a few feet away, they vanished into thin air, and large thorned roots erupted from the ground, blocking the way forward. Aqua screams in anger, before hacking and slashing at the roots, causing them to shrink back down into the ground, opening up the path again. Aqua runs forward, stating she will see her friends again, no matter the cost she has to pay. After a few more encounters with thorned roots, she manages to get to a clearing. But Aqua is not alone, a dark-side Heartless turns and stares at her.
Get out of my way.
A hollow giant, all strength, no purpose, just like the rest of them.
That voice. Who are you?
Before she could get an answer, the dark side slams its fist down at her, Aqua quickly dodging out of the way. Aqua returns by slashing at the dark side's hand, which is now embedded into the ground, appearing to be grabbing something. The dark side pulls its hand out, now holding an orange and black orb, and raises it to the sky, the orb exploding and beginning to rain down smaller purple and black orbs. Aqua dodges the orbs as she tries to close the distance, jumping in the air, and going straight for the head of the Heartless. The dark side grabs her mid-attack and throws her away, Aqua retaliating by tapping into the darkness again, sending out the chains that latch onto the dark side. Pulling herself close to the head again to attack more. After a few more hits, the dark side headbutts her, causing the chains to become loose and making Aqua fall to the ground. The dark side kneels down, crossing its arms, and begins charging something within the heart-shaped chest cavity. Aqua wastes no time and charges back at the Heartless, not stopping until this thing was eradicated. The dark side launches projectiles from its chest, Aqua noticing and dodging them, getting a quick idea from this. She runs far and waits for the dark side to launch more, which it does, and Aqua dodges the new projectiles, making them follow her, as she jumps at the dark side's head again, landing one foot on its forehead. Before backflipping off. The projectiles miss Aqua's backflip and hit the dark side right in the face, causing a small explosion of black powder. When the dark side can see again, its last sight is that of Aqua, slashing the keyblade down on it, being the final attack on the large Heartless.
Power without purpose is just noise in the dark. Good riddance.
Aqua feels a rumble as more and more dark side Heartless rise from the ground. Aqua looks in disbelief at the sight, before composing herself, watching the dark sides begin to channel energy into a massive orb in the sky. Aqua rushes forward, noticing a single dark side underneath it, seeming to be the one holding the massive orb in the sky. Aqua wastes no time, and now knowing all of its tricks, finishes off the dark side faster than the previous one. Aqua turns to look up at the orb and fires a keyblade beam at it, causing the orb to become unstable and implode slightly, before it explodes in a wide area, taking out all of the other dark side Heartless in the area, Aqua managing to survive the explosion by quickly summoning a shield around herself.
Look at what you've done. All that darkness, and you were the one who silenced it. Tell me, Aqua, do you feel it? That hush of control after a storm of chaos.
Yes, I do, but answer me this. Who are you? Are you the reason for my change?
Yes, I was once your enemy, but now we share a bond. I have changed you to adapt better down here, while you have used my power. I see it all, your teacher, preaching about the light, for he was too scared of the dark, and the old fool who tried to manipulate darkness for a meaningless cause. You think of me as a leech, but we are a symbiosis.
You have helped me, but the darkness
Is a tool. Do not be afraid, and it will not consume you. Let me help you understand this power.
How do I know you won't try to take over my body for your own games?
Because if that was my goal, I would have already done that. You need me, and I need you. But let us not waste time. Your friends are ahead.
Aqua looks ahead, seeing both Terra and Ventus standing there. Without hesitation, she rushes over. Upon calling out their names, Terra turns to her, as if he was responding to her. Aqua doubts that it's actually Terra, but he confirms that it is him, but states he is blind and cannot see anything around him. Terra then states that he is not himself right now, and that the real him is lost in shadow, Aqua asking if he is in the realm of darkness. Terra denies this, stating that he has ties to the dark, and that must be how they are able to talk at this moment. Aqua asks if his ties to the darkness are like hers, having a symbiosis with another. Terra again denies this and questions what she means. Aqua being hesitant to answer, her shame getting the best of her. Terra quickly changes the subject when he feels the awkwardness, telling Aqua that Xehanort is trying to track down Ventus, and she needs to keep him safe at all costs. Aqua tells Terra that Ventus is well hidden, and that he shouldn't worry about Xehanort ever finding him. Terra begins to struggle, his hair turns white, and he begins to writhe in pain.
This place, is it the Chamber of Waking?
Yes, Who are you?
He has been possessed by a darkened heart.
You don't know? My name is...
Aqua, get back! I messed up. Xehanort is part of me.
Silence!
Terra! Please, voice, can we save him?
Maybe. But this is just an illusion. Though defeating him here may give your friend time to take back control, quell his darkness.
Terra, I'm sorry, but this is going to hurt.
Aqua, don't worry about me. Just go!
I said, silence!
Terranort grabs Terra by the face and blasts him with dark power, the image of Terra slowly fading away. Aqua enters her battle stance, with Terranort responding in kind. The The two lunge at each other, Aqua's quick flourishes countering Terranaught's more powerful strikes, but this wasn't anything new for Aqua. She had remembered their previous encounter in the Radiant Garden. Terranaut notices something different about Aqua, unsure at first, but manages to align the pieces when he tries to sense her heart.
You hypocrite! You accepted the darkness!
Are you scared? Because you haven't seen anything yet.
Aqua's eyes glow a bright yellow as she taps into the darkness again. Her voice becomes distorted, and a black and purple aura surrounds her. Aqua's attacks become more ruthless, but Terranaut is standing his ground, commemorating her on her newfound strength. Aqua puts all her power into a swing, Terranaut dodging by leaning backwards, the blade just millimeters from his throat. Terranaut jumps back to gain some distance and releases a barrage of dark projectiles that home in on Aqua. Aqua dodges and blocks the projectiles, sarcastically asking if Terranaut has any new tricks. Terranaut, now annoyed that she is trying to get under his skin, charges up with dark energy before hitting the ground with his fist and chewing the area ground into a whirlpool of darkness. Aqua feels herself being pulled towards the center, having to dodge columns of light that erupt and move in a spiral pattern to the edge of the area. Aqua also realizes she couldn't escape the whirlpool, as the edges of the whirlpool are blocked by a wall of lasers and lightning that rain down from the sky. Aqua darts forward, engaging Terranaut in bladed combat again. The two swirl around each other, dodging both beams of light and the blade of the other, like in a synchronized dance of death. Terranaut manages to get an advantage when he grabs Aqua by the face, lifting her up and throwing her hard into the ground, Aqua having seconds to react to the beams of light she was just put in the way of. Aqua rolls, then flips upright, the whirlpool and everything else finally dissipating, but Terranaut was still there. He tried to gain some distance by jumping back, but Aqua just held out her hand, summoning the chains around her belt and shooting them at Terranaut, restraining him. Terranaut struggles for a second before looking down at the chains and smirking. He channels his darkness through the chains, which unwrap from him, but then snake and entangle Aqua.
What? How did you?
Keep struggling. You'll never be able to break these chains. There are bonds.
That's enough!
You! How are you back so soon? I sent you to the shadows.
Terra grabs Terranaut and begins to glow intently with light. The chains begin to break from Terranaut's hands, setting Aqua free.
That is enough!
Terra!
A massive pulse of light engulfs Terra and Terranaut, much like a nuke being set off, Aqua trying her best to resist being blown away, but is ultimately unable to hold on for much longer and is blown away, passing out from the G-force she was experiencing. When Aqua awakes, she looks around for any sign of Terra, but she is in a completely different area. She feels sad again, losing Terra after just being reunited, even if he wasn't actually there.
If only I was stronger.
No, you did enough. It was I who underestimated our foe. He was vastly more powerful with the darkness.
Then to set Terra free, I must become stronger with it.
In due time. Wait. Someone is coming.
Aqua looks over. Out from behind a rock is Mickey, who seems to be wandering in the realm of darkness. Aqua shouts at Mickey, who turns to face her, happy to hear her voice, but becomes startled at her new appearance. Mickey asks if it is really her, to which Aqua acknowledges, though Mickey is still hesitant. Mickey then asks why she is down here, Aqua recapping the events after she left the mysterious tower, hiding Ventus, and the fight in the Radiant Garden which lead to her being stranded here. Mickey asks why she looks different, with Aqua going quiet, before speaking up and saying she thinks it is a side effect of the realm of darkness, stating it helps her acclimate better down here, but ultimately lying about the true reason. Mickey seems skeptical about the tale, but soon accepts it. Mickey tells her that their last meeting at the mysterious tower was 10 years ago. Aqua asks him to repeat how long, to which Mickey does, though he now seems unsure if telling her how long was a good idea, based on her reaction. Aqua thinks to herself for a moment, 10 years, has it really been that long? That question triggered something, like a cascade of questions all rushing at once. 10 years, and no one came to rescue her? Was Mickey down here to finally take her home? What happened in the realm of light? Aqua quickly asks why Mickey was down here, hoping to get some solace. But when Mickey tells her about the Heartless and that his goal to find a way to stop them from attacking worlds, she zones out for a moment. Wait, he isn't here to save me? 10 years and he isn't here to save me? Did they forget about me?
I was alone for so long, fending for myself, holding out hope for someone, anyone to find me, and no one was even looking.
They forgot you, buried you in silence. The light turned its back on you, but I stayed. This wasn't malice, Aqua. Just indifference. That's the truth they never teach.
You're right, they didn't care, and Mickey just solidified that fact.
Aqua's eyes begin to glow a bright yellow again as she stares down at Mickey, who in turn takes a step back. Mickey asks who she was talking to, Aqua stating that it was the only one that actually has been helping her. Before things could escalate even further, the demon tower erupts from the ground in front of them. Aqua is now annoyed that she has to deal with this pest again, Mickey telling her that once they defeat this, they need to talk. The two summon their Keyblades and engage the demon tower, both going full force on trying to finish this fight quickly. Mickey takes a hit and gets sent flying back. Aqua notices and gets annoyed, knowing she'll have to pick up his slack.
Of course he's still weak. What is he even doing down here? Couldn't have met a competent Keyblade wielder, could I? Just had to get stuck with him.
Without you, he will surely perish. Do not let this happen. For if he found a way in, he may know of a way out.
Maybe he is useful for something.
Aqua uses her dark power again, not just tapping into it, but almost fully diving into the power it gives. She feels incredible, her aura pulsing with black and purple energy. Mickey looks up at Aqua in shock, the once bright Keyblade wielder he fought beside, using the power of darkness, and worse yet, willingly. He wonders what really happened to her while she was down here, but soon pushes that aside to get back into the battle. With Aqua's darkness surging, and Mickey getting a second wind, the two finally push back the demon tower enough for it to retreat again.
Running away again? You better stay gone this time.
They always return. Lower-born things clawing towards stronger power, hoping to steal it, as if they're worthy.
Aqua, was that the power of darkness? What really happened to you?
What can I say? It's been a long 10 years.
I can't imagine what you went through, but to use the darkness willingly.
Who are you to judge me? You who didn't even take time to even search for your friend. I was alone for years. I did what I had to do to survive. But you only look at me like a lesser from your high and mighty pedestal.
That's not true. I promise. But I did fail you, Aqua. I should have come sooner. It's just we were taught to never give up on the light, no matter how dark it got. But maybe that isn't true. Just looking at you, maybe we were wrong.
I'm tired of your shallow excuses and apologies. If you don't plan on helping me get out of this place, stay out of my way.
Aqua, I'm sorry. I know you're hurting, but please listen. I have a plan, one that could get us both out, but I need your help. I need you.
Aqua begins to walk away, but stops when Mickey mentions a plan, and that he needs her. Mickey explains his plan on finding the Keyblade of this realm, and to use it to lock the door between the two realms, hopefully stopping the Heartless attacks. Hopefully with Aqua's help, they should be able to find the Keyblade faster, and go back to the realm of light together. Aqua is hesitant on joining him, but agrees, stating she's been here for far too long, and maybe not all of her changes were for the best, thinking back to how she was treating Mickey earlier. Mickey extends his hand, promising to bring her home. Aqua shakes his hand, saying she'll hold him to that promise. The two set off, traveling through the realm of darkness together, hoping to complete their mission. After traveling for a bit, the two see an opening in the rock wall, with what seems like sunlight shining through. Their hopes are lifted, a change in scenery, instead of staying in this gloomy place. When the two make it closer, the ground changes from a granite-like rock to sand, and the light coming from the opening was blinding. When the two emerge, Aqua instantly recognizes where they are, the remains of the Destiny Islands. Aqua retells the story about her visit and meeting with Sora and Riku, Mickey ultimately shocked, but then stern when he realizes he is on the right track. When Mickey tells Aqua about how those same boys have been helping him, Aqua is shocked at first, but then becomes upset, wondering why Mickey would endanger kids. Mickey quickly exclaims that he hasn't been endangering them, that their world, which they are standing on the ruins of, was taken from them, and the boys were lost to the stars. They didn't have a choice in the matter, but Mickey concludes that if this is where Sora got his Keyblade, then the Dark Realm's counterpart must be here.
A Keyblade from the realm of darkness. It could be a powerful tool, but would it be useful in his hands?
No, it wouldn't.
Aqua, that voice you talk to, it worries me.
You just worry about yourself. It seems like that is the only thing you can do. You haven't thought of anyone else, not me or the boys.
Mickey takes a step back, scared at Aqua's snap and change in voice. He takes a moment before Aqua seems to calm down, Mickey apologizing once again and stating that time is short. The two walk to the secret place before they are stopped in their tracks by the Demon Tide, the evolution of the Demon Tower. Aqua screams in frustration that the swarm of Heartless is back again, but Mickey reminds her that they need to finish this fight fast and find that key. The two engage the Demon Tide, Mickey doing what he can to help, while Aqua uses the power of darkness. Eventually the two manage to team up, Aqua using her chains to wrap the swarm of Heartless up, and when they are stuck, the two begin to dice the contained swarm. When the chains release from the swarm, it begins to glow red, and the tail of the worm begins to wrap around the main mass like a twister. Its attacks become more deadly, and Aqua has a hard time attacking the mass within the center, but notices that the mass would be vulnerable from above. She begins to charge up with dark energy, before she releases it, launching into the air like a rocket. When she is high above the Demon Tide, she dives down, directly towards the main mass, and she charges up with dark energy again. When she hits the central mass with her Keyblade, a large explosion of darkness erupts from the twister, shadows are sent flying as the mass comes apart. When the dust clears from the area, Aqua is standing there alone. It seems like she had finally beaten the enemy that had been tormenting her for a while. Aqua breathes heavily, and her eyes continue to glow intently, and small sparks of purple lightning zap around her. Mickey is about to ask if she is okay, but decides against it given how she has been lately. Aqua coldly looks at Mickey before telling him to lead the way, Mickey nodding before heading back towards the secret place. When the two enter the secret place, they see a large wooden door, and upon pushing it, see a large dark area with a glowing Keyblade. They had done it, they had found the Keyblade of the Realm of Darkness. Mickey begins to approach it, and reaches out to grab it, but Aqua quickly asks him to stop.
What's wrong, Aqua?
You shouldn't touch it. It's a Keyblade of Darkness.
Who knows what it would do to him? He who be so bright. This dark key, it would yield better to you.
How do you mean?
Your heart hasn't adapted to the Dark Realm or darkness in general. Let me take it. I probably have a better chance to attune to it.
Are you sure?
Would you rather risk it and suffer a terrible consequence, or worse, have it disappear?
Okay, Aqua.
Aqua takes hold of the Keyblade, feeling her heart become in sync with this new type of Keyblade. She nods at Mickey, signaling that it has bonded with her, Mickey then telling her they should be set. Mickey explains about the door to darkness, and how hearts of light cannot pass through. Aqua feels betrayed again. The door to darkness, a pathway back to the realm of light, is now a lost option. Before she could pursue the thought further, they feel a rumble, then are engulfed by a flash of light. When the light fades, they look around and see they are in a new area, with the door to darkness not too far off in the distance. They hear footsteps running in the distance. It's Riku, making a dash for the door. The two follow suit, and chase after him, only to... Seriously? Like, I know this happens in canon, but seriously? The Demon Tide again? What, did they run out of budget for a better boss fight?
Dude, can you carry on with the story?
I guess, but we're kind of just recapping 0.2, aren't we?
Yes and no. You just look ahead at the notes. Trust me on this.
Oh. Ah. Okay, I can run with this. The two follow suit and chase after him, only to be stopped by the demon tide once again. Aqua wastes no time and powers up with darkness, Mickey entering his battle stance. But the two look in horror as the demon tide completely ignores them and head straight for Riku.
Don't you dare ignore me!
Aqua warps to the other end of the area with extreme speed, quickly putting up a shield and blocking the demon tide that was about to attack Riku. Riku is surprised by the sudden appearance of both Aqua and the boom of the demon tide hitting the shield. When the demon tide bounces off, Aqua grabs Riku and throws him at the door, yelling at him to close it, and when it is closed she will lock it. Riku nods and begins to close the door, with Sora, Donald, and Goofy on the other side helping to close it as well. Aqua looks back at the demon tide, trying to see if she'll get another opening, and notices Mickey coming to aid her. She tells Mickey her plan, and he agrees, both suddenly noticing the demon tide making another strike at them. They manage to block it and counterattack, a few shadows being knocked from the group. The shadows get up and look at the two, before turning their heads and looking directly at Riku, and choosing to go for him. Mickey is distracted when he sees the shadows going for Riku. Aqua panics at Mickey's distraction as the demon tide strikes again, hitting them, picking them up and carrying them like a strong current. Aqua manages to get a hand out from the swarm of shadows, summoning the Master Defender Keyblade, and throwing it at Riku, the blade embedding itself in the massive door, a few inches from Riku's face. Riku stops pushing the door closed to fight off the shadows coming for him, while Aqua builds up her anger while being consumed by the swarm. She explodes with darkness, freeing herself from the swarm, but the rest of the swarm, still carrying Mickey, retreats back through the wooden door they found in the secret place.
Mickey.
He fights now because it's him. Had it been you, you would still be drowning in the shadows. Do you truly believe he would have chased after you? His history speaks for itself.
You're right. He left me before. He would do it again. He didn't care. But you do, and so do I.
Aqua rushes over, seeing Riku finish off the last of the shadows before going back to close the door. Aqua also begins to help close the door, and when right before it's closed, she looks back, noticing multiple Darkside Heartless rise from the ground and stare at them. Aqua quickly charges up a few Dark Furga spells and launches them at the Darksides, yelling at Riku that they only have a few moments and they need to shut the door quickly. Riku looks through the door and says something to Sora, but Aqua can't make it out. Now with the door shut, Aqua jumps back and uses the Kingdom Key D to lock the door on her side, trusting Sora to lock it on his. With her part done, she draws her attention back to the Darksides. Riku joins her with the Master Defender in hand.
Think you can handle this many?
Please, you have no idea how many of these I've beaten before.
The two jump at the Darksides and begin to fight them off till they are all defeated, Aqua and Riku surveying the area, looking for anything. Riku looks over at Aqua, taking a moment. This person seems familiar, but he couldn't place it. Aqua turns to him, looking at him and remembering how little he used to be. She tells him she is shocked about how big he's gotten. Riku suddenly remembering who she is and stating how different she looks from way back when.
I guess we both changed in those 10 years.
Yeah, but we shouldn't stay here for much longer. We need to find Mickey and find a way out.
He's gone, and frankly, he deserved it. He left me alone down here for 10 years fending for myself, and when we did cross paths again, it was only to use me for his own selfish goals.
He abandoned you? Was he going to abandon me here too once the door was sealed?
I wouldn't put it past him. But I promise I won't abandon you. We'll find a way out of here together.
He has darkness within him. He could make a useful pupil.
The two begin to wander the realm of darkness together, Riku telling Aqua what has happened after they met years ago, letting her know that Kairi had shown up on the island not long after. Aqua remembers Kairi, but soon wonders what happened to the Radiant Garden, and by that extension Terra, if Kairi had shifted worlds. She becomes distressed by the thoughts, Riku taking notice, and asking how she came to the realm of darkness. Aqua tells him everything that happened, including Terra's possession, and her change into what she has become. Riku is taken back, stating that he was possessed by a name named Ansem, but Aqua clarifies that this isn't a possession since she is still in control, and states it is more of symbiosis. Riku asks how that was possible, since darkness tends to corrupt, but Aqua quickly snaps at him, stating only those who are weak and abuse the power tend to be corrupted. Riku notes this and admits to his own corruption, and remembering Maleficent's downfall, Aqua chuckling at the thought of her old foe falling to the darkness she tried to control. Aqua then inquires about the Keyblade of People's Heart, as her knowledge of the Keyblade seems to be lacking, admitting that she didn't even know about Keyblades of Darkness not long before they met up. Riku tells her all he knew about the Keyblade in particular, but still harboring guilt given its nature and what he was going to do to Kairi. Aqua looks over at him, noticing his guilt, and promising to train him to become both a better person and being able to not succumb to the darkness. When the two stop, they arrive at the dark margin, but they are not alone. The two duck down behind some rocks, looking at two hooded figures who are talking to each other, but Aqua and Riku are unable to hear what they are saying.
I know you are there. Come out and show yourselves.
Who are you? Are you friend or foe?
I am what's left.
What do you mean?
I am that of which remains, though simple minds like yourself may not comprehend. Or am I wrong? Aqua.
You know who I am?
I know both of you. So tell me, Riku, how is Ansem?
Would you like to find out?
Stop, Riku. How do you know us? Who are you really? Both of you.
Xemnas lowers his hood. Aqua instantly flashes back to the image of Terranaut. Xemnas looks over at Roxas, signaling him to lower his hood, and when Roxas reveals his face and hair, Aqua reaches out slightly, asking if it is Ventus.
I thought so too at first, but he is not him. He is a being, or lack thereof, known as a nobody. And he is a nobody of Sora.
What? Sora?
Who are you a nobody of?
You already know, don't you? You're just too afraid to admit the truth of your failure. You couldn't save Terra from falling to darkness. You couldn't free him from his torment. And now, you weren't able to stop him from being torn heart from body. I am what remains, Aqua. I am the echo of Terra's scream, the part you let die.
Shut up!
Aqua flashes forward, her rage built up past the breaking point. She strikes at Xemnas, who blocks the attack with his ethereal blades, and pivots, letting Aqua go past him. She turns for another strike, but her movements are unbalanced. There is no training behind the swings, just blind rage. Riku looks over at Roxas, who is just standing there watching the fight, though he seems not all there. Riku stands at the ready, just in case Roxas tries to intervene, or Aqua asks for help. Xemnas carefully dances around Aqua's vicious strikes, before he has a sinister idea. Letting Aqua pass him one more time, he raises his hand, and black and white vines outstretch, heading towards Roxas. Aqua turns and sees the vines quickly going towards Roxas. She only has enough time to scream Ventus's name, still picturing him instead of Roxas. Before the vines reach Roxas, who just stands there, still confused, he is knocked out of the way by Riku, who ends up entangled in the vines. Xemnas smirks that the trap had caught a prey, and he closes his fist. The vines tighten around Riku.
Now you will vanish into nothing!
Riku screams in pain as his form begins to fade, but he is saved last second by Roxas, who had summoned his Keyblade and struck at the vines. Riku hits the ground and is knocked out, as Roxas looks at the unconscious Riku, then to Xemnas and glares at him with his still hazy eyes. Xemnas looks at Roxas, then Aqua, before laughing and preparing for battle.
Xemnas, I'm going to make you regret that.
An empty body speaking hollow words. He is nothing. Remind him of this.
Ironic that you are called a nobody, because when I'm done with you, no one will even remember your name.
Yes, Aqua. Your darkness flows strong. Wait. another darkness arrives.
A dark corridor opens up, everyone turning to look at who is stepping through.
You, what are you doing here?
Hello, Aqua.